All right, let's jump right into this explainer and demystify make.com. Look, if you spent any time at all trying to connect the dozen different apps your business runs on, you already know it can get incredibly messy. But today, we're looking at a visual automation platform that is fundamentally changing how businesses build and, more importantly, how they scale their operations. We aren't just talking about moving a file from point A to point B here, we are talking about serious enterprise-grade process orchestration. We've got a really packed agenda mapping out what we call the builder's journey today. We're going to start with meet make.com, then move into the visual canvas advantage, look at mastering advanced workflows, and spend some time cracking the pricing code. Finally, we'll wrap up with the big one, Make versus Zapier.
So, Section 1, meet make.com, the evolution of an enterprise engine.
It's actually pretty wild to see how fast this platform evolved. Back in 2020, an enterprise software company called Celonis acquired this really beloved, kind of geeky automation tool named Integromat. Then, fast forward to 2022, they made this massive, honestly quite risky pivot. They ditched the highly distinct Integromat name and rebranded to simply Make, buying up that super premium make.com domain. And despite taking a short-term hit to their search rankings by using such a common English verb, the bet completely paid off. By 2026, they scaled to over 100,000 paying customers and hit a staggering 100 million euros in annual recurring revenue, all while shifting their focus toward visual, agentic AI orchestration.
Okay, Section 2, the visual canvas advantage, defining the make.com lexicon.
To really operate this platform, you have to speak its language, which is totally different from other tools out there. First up, the scenario. In Make, you don't build zaps or recipes, you build scenarios. This represents the entire life cycle of your automated workflow. From the very first trigger all the way down to the final action, the scenario is the whole canvas you're working on.
And inside that scenario, every single step is called a module. These are those little circular nodes you drag and drop onto your visual canvas. A module connects to an app and performs one specific operation. Now, this is super important to remember for later. Every single time a module executes, it counts as one operation against your monthly limits.
Next up is the bundle. And honestly, this concept is Make's true superpower. A bundle is simply the actual packet of data flowing through your modules. Let's say your trigger is watching a Google Sheet for new rows, right? And it finds 5 new rows. Well, Make generates 5 separate bundles. Those 5 bundles then flow to the next module, which means that next module is going to run 5 separate times. Once you understand how bundles flow, you've basically unlocked the platform. So think about it this way. If a traditional step-by-step automation tool is a straight, linear highway, Make's visual node graph canvas is a complex, sprawling railway network. You can build parallel tracks, you can insert dynamic switches, and you can fan out your data to 10 different paths at once. And the best part, you can visually see exactly how your data flows across every single branch. Moving on to Section 3, mastering advanced workflows, the power tools under the hood. Let's look at how that railway network translates into the real world. Make gives builders some incredibly robust tools, starting with the HTTP module. This is your absolute Swiss Army knife. If a piece of software doesn't have a native integration in Make, no problem. You use the HTTP module to connect to literally any web API. It handles all your standard web requests, manages custom headers, and it'll even navigate complex OAuth 2.0 authentication flows and parse raw JSON responses, all without you having to write a single line of actual code. Make also features 2 of my favorite data manipulation tools, iterators and aggregators. They do exactly what they sound like. An iterator takes a massive list of data, say one email that has 10 different line items in it, and breaks it down into 10 individual bundles so you can process them one by one. An aggregator does the exact opposite. It catches those individual items and bundles them back together into a single array, which is perfect if you want to generate, say, a single consolidated PDF report. But what happens when things break? Because they will. Silent failures are literally an automation builder's worst nightmare. Make prevents this by forcing you to dictate your error handling using 4 distinct directives. You can use resume to just ignore the error. You can commit to save what actually worked. You can use break to store that failed bundle in a queue and automatically try it again later. Or, and this is incredible, you can use rollback, which completely undoes all the actions in that run to maintain ACID compliant database consistency. I mean, that is a true enterprise-grade safety net right there. All right, Section 4, cracking the pricing code, the math behind the automation.
Ultimately, we have to look at how this incredible architecture actually impacts your wallet, because automation pricing can be notoriously tricky. It's essential to grasp the fundamental difference in billing here. Make uses a credit-based system. They charge you a credit for every single module that fires. This includes triggers that check for new data even if it doesn't find any data. It includes filters, and includes logic steps. On the flip side, competitors like Zapier generally charge a task only for a successful end action, which means their triggers and filters are often free.
But here's the catch. Despite charging for every module, Make's raw volume is just staggering. To put that into perspective, on their entry-level core plan for around $10 a month, you get 10,000 operations. Zapier's professional plan costs roughly double that amount and gives you just 750 tasks. So yeah, Make counts more things against your quota, but they give you a massively larger quota to work with. Which brings us to Section 5, Make versus Zapier, the ultimate showdown. We've been comparing them this whole time, so let's just put them head to head. Looking at the technical vectors, the differences are night and day. Interface, Make is a visual canvas. Zapier is a linear form. Apps, Zapier wins on sheer volume with over 9,000 integrations, no question. But Make's 3,000 apps often feature much deeper, more granular API actions. As we just saw, Make is credit-based, Zapier is task-based. And for advanced logic, Make's native iterators and multi-branch routers offer a level of complex data transformation that is honestly just a lot harder to pull off in Zapier's linear system. So what's the verdict? Ultimately, it comes down to who you are and what you're trying to build. Go with Zapier for speed, simplicity, and broad app support. If you're a non-technical user who just wants to connect a Facebook lead form to a Slack channel in 5 minutes, Zapier is brilliant. But you should absolutely choose Make if you're a technical builder or operations manager who needs complex data orchestration, detailed error handling, and serious long-term cost efficiency at scale. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought as you look at your own business processes. Take a step back and really ask yourself, are you just trying to automate a few simple, disconnected tasks? Or are you ready to orchestrate entire interconnected enterprise systems? Understanding that distinction is absolutely key to choosing the right tool for your future. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you in the next one.